Puffy had 3 security guards with him, and he basically made this guy drop to his knees and give him oral sex.
Damn.
With the 3 with the 3 security guards watching.
Damn.
What's the most number of people you've seen having sex in a room at one time?
6.
6 people. Is Diddy one of them?
One newly surfaced video could shake loose years of closely guarded secrets. A man claiming to be a professional escort has released a shocking clip that he alleges came from one of Diddy's infamous private gatherings. And the reaction has been intense. If the footage is authentic, it could open the door to questions the public has never been allowed to ask. The situation is escalating fast, and every hour brings a new wave of scrutiny. What started as a single leak is now turning into a potential turning point in the entire saga.
Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it? Or
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video is pornographic in nature.
Oh my. All right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes. This was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video. So it, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded.
And the polished shine of celebrity life. Things are rarely what they appear, and today, we're stepping inside a side of Sean Diddy Combs that the public was never meant to witness. Our investigation pulls back the curtain on a hidden world shaped by influence, secrecy, and troubling allegations. It all starts with a startling video released by a man identifying himself only as John Doe, a figure who has suddenly become central to this unfolding story. The leaked clip raises new questions about what has been happening behind closed doors and whether it ties into years of disputes, accusations, and rumors that have shadowed Diddy's career. As more details emerge, the connections between past claims and this new footage become harder to ignore. And with each passing moment, the narrative grows more complex, pushing this long-running saga into a new and potentially defining chapter.
Lawsuits are wild. There was this new guy that popped up that basically said that Puffy faced him at the back of a Macy's. You heard this one?
I didn't hear about the face.
Yes.
I didn't hear about the
face lawsuit right now.
There's a face lawsuit, right? So face is the new baby oil.
I guess so.
Face is an ill term. You just said that's a wild term. Face.
Yeah. This guy who worked for Echo at the time, I guess, ran into Puffy in the stockroom of a Macy's right here, right down the street, the flagship store. Puffy had 3 security guards with him, and he basically made this guy drop to his knees and give him oral sex.
Damn.
With the 3 with the 3 security guards watching.
Damn.
I'm sure they're looking at each other and go like, man, they don't pay me enough for this shit. Like,
yeah, I'd be like, yo, man, fuck
tomorrow.
This, man. It's got to be another rapper I can work for. I'll work security at Madison Square Garden. This is too much, man. At what point is it? Like, I know it's good, but this is crazy. We get the yachts and occasional, second, the second and third chick, but this is at a certain point. It's like, come on, man. I've had enough. And I'm heating up the baby oil. This is, come on, man. I'm just supposed to be like a security guard pushing people away. Like, just fending off autograph seekers. This is too much.
Diddy's in the room?
Yes, I've seen that too.
Okay. How many people are actually having sexual relations in one room at a time?
Well, that varies.
What's the most number of people you've seen having sex in a room at one time?
6.
6 people. Is Diddy one of them?
Yes.
Okay. Was it heterosexual?
It was diabolical.
Meaning?
I seen Diddy. This ain't my first time seeing Diddy doing things with a man in my face.
What was he doing?
I never seen Diddy have sex with a man. I seen Diddy doing things that I always kind of was like, whoa, my bad. And he'll be doing kissing and rubbing it.
What, you've seen Diddy kiss a man?
I definitely seen Diddy kiss a man. I walked into the room and seen Diddy kiss a man. Powerful man.
Okay. Can you say what that is?
That what I can't. Yeah.
Someone,
because that person is still in the music industry and it's a big dog. And,
so if you were to say that name, I would know who that is right off top.
Yes, you would.
Is this a openly gay man?
Absolutely not.
According to court filings submitted in the Southern District of New York on February 26th, Sean Diddy Combs is facing serious accusations connected to an incident that allegedly occurred in 2012. The complaint comes from a Florida-based escort, identified as John Doe, who says he was pressured into participating in deeply inappropriate conduct at the Intercontinental Hotel in New York City. Doe asserts that he was compelled to engage in sexual acts involving a woman who was present, an experience he describes as distressing and far beyond his control. The lawsuit also outlines additional actions that, according to Doe, left him feeling manipulated, overwhelmed, and stripped of personal agency.
Says that he was contacted by Diddy. It said that they were going to meet at a hotel in New York City, and he showed up there, and Diddy was there with a girlfriend. He doesn't name the girlfriend, but says that that immediately they, got naked. And that Diddy forced the sex worker form a sex act on his girlfriend for several hours. And then he brings up something we've heard in other lawsuits. That is, baby oil. Feeling like you were drunk.
Right. The lawsuit does not name the victim, but says John Doe worked for what's being called a male companion service out of Florida in 2012. It says Doe would travel to New York upon Combs' request. In one instance, Doe allegedly went to the Intercontinental Hotel in New York, and Combs is accused of ordering him to perform sex acts on a female companion. Doe claims that Combs had him drink from a water bottle, and then Combs rubbed baby oil on Doe's body. The lawsuit says that Doe felt like he had been drunk and not in complete control of his body, which may have been because of either the oil or what was in that water.
In a disturbing turn within the lawsuit, John Doe asserts that the situation escalated even further, claiming that Diddy subjected him to additional unwanted physical contact. According to the filing, Doe alleges that this moment left him feeling intimidated and powerless.
And then he alleges that that Diddy then sodomized him. Right. Some of that stuff we've heard in other lawsuits. Yeah. The twist here is something that he said occurred during the sexual assault, something that Diddy said to him that references another really notorious thing that Diddy, his name is attached to, but he has never been accused of this. But in this lawsuit, the male sex worker says that Diddy said to him, if I can get Pac, as in Tupac, hit, what the blank do you think can happen to you?
Like, don't say anything.
Right. It was a threat of keep your mouth shut about this, otherwise I'm going to do to you what I did to Tupac.
The suit says after multiple hours of being ordered to degrade and perform degrading acts on that female companion, John Doe tried to leave by going to the bathroom. And that's when the lawsuit accuses Combs of sexually assaulting John Doe while telling him to stay. The suit says Combs raped John Doe for 4 to 5 minutes before threatening him. Combs allegedly told the man, quote, "You better not say a word to anybody about this. Did you hear me?" And he continued by saying, quote, "I'm not bleeping playing with you." Then, in this lawsuit, John Doe accuses Combs of invoking the name of Tupac and his murder by saying this in quotes. "I'm not bleeping playing with you. If I can get Pac hit, what bleep do you think can happen to you?" Pac, aka Tupac, was killed in 1996 in a drive-by shooting in Nevada. While Combs and Tupac were on different ends of the East Coast, West Coast rap rivalry of the 90s, police never considered Combs a suspect in Tupac's murder, or they haven't said so publicly. Anything tying Diddy to Tupac has been speculation and part of the rumor mill, no solid, concrete facts. Currently, former LA area gang leader Dwayne Keefe D. Davis is charged with Tupac's murder. He's been the only person criminally charged in this case. The 61-year-old was arrested in September 2023 and has pleaded not guilty. Davis has tried to shift the blame for Tupac's murder to Combs in his court proceedings.
Needless to say, Diddy's team is absolutely denying this. They're saying that no matter how many lawsuits are filed against Diddy, they're still maintaining their innocence, saying that he did not sexually assault anyone. I mean, it just feels somewhat, with the exception of the Tupac bit here, it feels like deja vu all over again. Since he was indicted, I mean, it just feels like every week we see some type of lawsuit from a Jane Doe or a John Doe alleging, sexual assault, among other things. And I'm just curious when it's finally going to come to an end, if it even does.
If it does, exactly. Yeah. Because remember, all of these lawsuits, Diddy and his team, they're not going to deal with any of this until after they're done dealing with the federal
lawsuits,
case.
Money. Diddy's life his freedom is on the line right now, right?
But what they could come together here, because what we've learned is that the individual who's filed this lawsuit is willing, if the feds want to sit down with him, is willing to testify. He actually wants to talk to prosecutors because they feel that they are a prime example of what the feds have alleged, and so therefore,
and I'm sure the feds will take them up on that, Charles. I mean, this is alleged to have happened around 2012 time. I would think that the feds would absolutely want to sit down with this John Doe.
Yeah, at the very least, to have the conversation, get the information, whether or not they actually becoming a testifying, witness.
Right.
Meanwhile, a separate investigation by Rolling Stone uncovers yet another unsettling episode, this time involving male sex worker Nathan, who shares his firsthand experiences at some of Diddy's infamous private gatherings. Nathan recalls that in 2019, during an event at Miami's One Hotel, Diddy allegedly suggested participating in a threesome, a scenario that, on the surface, appeared glamorous and indulgent. But according to Nathan, the situation quickly took a darker, more troubling turn, exposing a side of these exclusive parties that few outside that inner circle had ever witnessed.
Based entertainer who aspired to become a musician. Knowing that plaintiff desperately sought a breakthrough in the music industry, Combs enticed plaintiff with fraudulent promises of a career in the music industry. Combs used his false promises of career and advancement as weapons, trapping plaintiff in a vortex of exploitation and fear. Combs did not follow through with these promises. Instead, Combs subjected plaintiff to a relentless pattern of drinking, sexual assaults, death threats, clandestine recording, blackmail, and psychological manipulation that far exceeded any bounds of consent or professionalism. So very similar allegations to what is leveled in Combs' criminal indictment and other lawsuits as well. This lawsuit continues, quote, Combs dehumanized plaintiff and reduced him to a mere object for Combs' own amusement and to satisfy his own sexual fetishes. Combs gravely exploited plaintiff, effectively imprisoning him and controlling him through surreptitious surveillance and filming. Combs' recordings were not just blatant invasions of plaintiff's privacy, but he wielded them as tools of blackmail, forcing plaintiff to continuously comply with his perverse sexual demands. Combs covertly tricked plaintiff to strip plaintiff of his ability to resist his sexual demands. Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs' production company, facilitated Combs' calculated abuse and played a significant part in Combs' ruthless scheme to exploit plaintiff.
Well, one of the things that was mentioned in the lawsuit was the freak-offs.
Yes.
So, in the lawsuit, Cassie said, while in New York, Diddy told her that he wanted to engage in a fantasy of his called voyeurism. He said it would turn him on if he saw Cassie with another dick. So, he allegedly forced her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while he would masturbate and film it. First time, Diddy hired a man, brought him to his home in Los Angeles. Everyone was wearing masquerade masks.
I could believe.
And everyone took. He would instruct her to perform sex acts with the man while he watched. He would masturbate and, have the man do specific acts. This would last for multiple days. He would call them freak-offs or FOs. And he would basically tell her that he wanted this thing all the time. And eventually he would have her actually go to websites to hire these male sex workers herself. He basically said that this was our thing and our secret. These freak-offs would happen at all types of hotels all around the country. At one point in 2013, they were at the Intercontinental in New York, where there was like tens of thousands of dollars of damages in the hotel after one of these. She said the chief of staff, Tony Fletcher, paid the invoice. Were you around Tony Fletcher?
These revelations have significantly tarnished the once glittering image of Sean Diddy Combs, forcing the public to grapple with a far darker story behind the fame and fortune. As scrutiny intensifies, the legal stakes continue to rise, with Diddy now facing serious charges including racketeering, sex trafficking, and transporting individuals for prostitution. His trial is scheduled to begin on May 5th, placing him under a national spotlight and raising questions about accountability, power, and influence in the world of celebrity. The unfolding case is not only a pivotal moment in Diddy's career but also a stark reminder of how quickly public perception can shift when long-held allegations come to light.
Mariah Carey, a whole crowd of well-known people. Howard Stern would be there. But what maybe they didn't know about, and maybe you don't know about, is that there would be a party within the party. As the night wore on, these sort of A-list names would go home. I mean, it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Okay, the party's over. Let's leave. Well, for some people, the party was only just beginning. There would be like back bedrooms where Diddy and his, let's say, more debauchery-oriented friends would have a different kind of party. I spoke with a gentleman who was a dealer who would deliver to Diddy at the legit white party and at the other party. And he recalled a story in which he went to make a delivery, knocked on the door. Diddy answered in his robe, brought him back there. And the guy, did what he did with the, they did the transaction. And he said the shocking thing to him wasn't that there were or that there were, naked ladies or naked men or, all kinds of powders laying around. What was shocking to him was what he saw rappers doing. He goes, I saw rappers doing things I never expected to see, and it totally changed the way I look at them. I guess he's saying there was male-on-male sex among rappers, which not everybody knew about.
So 2C is the coke, but they take the cat and cook it up. And they fold it into the cup. Now, if you don't know what cat is what they call on the street special cat. It's a veterinary, it's a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, special K, and cocaine. Now, see, the can keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle because of what the blood flow is. So you want to fuck with a half-hard dick all night. So that's why you have the Viagra to make sure that the dick involuntarily stays hard while you're numbing yourself with the coke. Now, see, the cat, that's a horse tranquilizer. So that relaxes all your muscles. You could get by 80-ton gorillas. You wouldn't feel a thing. So now, your dick is going to stay hard. You numbed up and you high. You got the caffeine in you so you don't feel. And then you add that to put in the feeling that you've now blocked out. And now you got a party.
Freak off cocktail.
Yes.
Despite the growing body of allegations, Diddy's legal team has firmly denied all claims, describing them as completely unfounded. They maintain that their client has never engaged in sexual assault or coerced anyone, emphasizing that the accusations are without merit. The defense also points to the so-called freak-off tapes, which are currently under close review, arguing that these recordings actually demonstrate that every interaction depicted involved willing adults in established relationships. Their stance is clear: the material, when properly examined, contradicts the narrative being presented in court and supports Diddy's position that consent was present throughout.
In the court docs, prosecutors accuse Combs of knowingly transporting people from 2009 to 2024, quote, with intent that the individuals engage in prostitution, stating that he willfully caused the transportation of female victims, including but not limited to victim 1, victim 2, and victim 3, and commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions. The indictment also alleges that he, quote, engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women that was verbal, emotional, physical, and at times sexual. with the filing stating that he manipulated women to participate in orchestrated performances of sexual activity with Combs. At times, Combs and others acting at his direction made arrangements for women and commercial sex workers to fly to Combs' location. Combs ensured participation from the women by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and violence. In response to this new indictment against the record mogul, his lawyer Mark Agnafilo claims prosecutors are making a major mistake in their filing. Telling E! News in a statement January 30th, the latest indictment contains no new offenses. The prosecution's theory remains flawed.
And they really emphasize that since Combs is facing accusations of sexual misconduct and wrongdoing in a number of civil lawsuits, so separate from the criminal case, civil lawsuits, many people have come out and sued him, and by the way, many of which we've covered here on Sidebar, they argue that the government is basically forcing Sean Combs and his attorneys to play a guessing game about which allegations he's actually going to be forced to defend in the criminal case. We don't know. Second, his defense team argued, quote, given the anticipated amount of discovery and the expected time required for its production, Mr. Combs will be unable to adduce the identities of the purported victims from the discovery without the assistance of the government. Mr. Combs also anticipates that the discovery will contain voluminous evidence of consensual sexual activity, making it all the more difficult for Mr. Combs to ascertain which of his prior sexual partners now claim years later that they felt coerced. Even if it were possible to ascertain the victim's identity from the discovery, and especially given the volume of anticipated discovery, it's unfair to require Mr. Combs to spend significant time trying to unearth the alleged victims' identities. Again, goes back to the larger narrative. How on earth do we know exactly what the prosecution is arguing, what evidence they're going to introduce, which claims they're going to be focusing on, which alleged victims they're going to be focusing on? How is Sean Combs going to be properly able to defend himself if he doesn't know the specifics of this, right?
Details of this case remain murky, and with every new revelation, it becomes increasingly difficult to separate fact from fiction. The public is left questioning what truly happened and what might be exaggerated or manipulated for attention. As additional materials surface online, many observers are pointing to a recently leaked clip as potentially the most impactful evidence yet, one that could influence both public perception and the trajectory of the trial itself. The situation highlights just how easily high-profile scandals can blur the line between reality and sensationalism, leaving audiences eager for clarity but unsure whom to believe.